Welcome back. Okay, so I did do a little bit of research, and by that I mean just reading comments that I hadn't read yet because they said things I didn't really want to be spoiled on, including how the extra content works. So now I know how that is. One last thing, honestly. Something in the same vein as with the Patrick's Dilemma glitch. I wonder if there would be more like those. It seems there must be somewhere I can go that actually turns me into Sandy immediately. It seems there are other spatulas that have the same issue. I figure that might be the case. I don't know, I haven't heard of any outside of Jellyfish Fields and Bikini Bottom. So it sounds like you can go to SpongeBob's house and become Sandy sometimes. And it sounds like the tree dome also works. Or at least sometimes. Hey, look at that. Something feels so right about this, except for the fact that she's wearing her suit in her tree dome, but all stuff cleaned up. Where's the sun coming from? We're gonna get like a nice photo op here. It's weird, the lighting isn't quite the same on Sandy as it is on everything else. This is nice. Sandy in her tree dome. Yeah, apparently you can go to some other places like SpongeBob's house as Sandy or something like that. Or Patrick, presumably, to it for us. But why would I want to play as Patrick anywhere else? Yeah. Of course, talking doesn't work. So do you have to press... What buttons do you press to make this thing open? I pressed R1. I can't get it closing it now, though. Yeah, I was able to do it earlier. Getting it to open and close at random. There we go. Yeah. Help me! I actually can't get out this time. Actually, there we go. I don't imagine there's anything crazy you can do in here, Sandy, though, honestly.
A note from Mr. Krabs! And it even smells sweaty, just like him.
Ahoy there, Spongebob! As a faithful crew member of the Krusty Krab, you've been, promoted to head shiny object collector.
Wow! A promotion!
Sandy.
That's right!
It even says Sandy's name.
So what this here new job entails is you...
Whoa, that was interesting. I walked on that thing. I never noticed that. Was that in the original? Those trophies up there. I hadn't noticed that in this version at least. I was wondering if you could have a glitch like that though, where you actually talk as...
A note from Mr. Krabs!
with the wrong person's voice. You could do that in the original. I don't imagine there's much I can do here.
Ew. Can't believe I'm wearing SpongeBob's underwear.
Whoops. Game. Why are you so broken? I'm stuck here now. Oh my god. Alright, it would be really cool if I could go out into Bikini Bottom with Sandy. So I'm tempted to try to see if I can go out in the main area, Sandy, anywhere. I don't really feel like annoying Squidward as Sandy. Yeah, so I guess it's just some spatulas, so there are probably spatulas in other areas you can do the same thing with. And, which in some cases might actually have some practical use for speedrunning or something. Again, I haven't actually looked into, like, I've been all isolated with this game, and even been trying to, like, be careful about which comments I read, to try to keep everything organic. So, I haven't looked at all into like what speedrunning tactics are being done or anything like that, or how. Darn it. There was the one case of somebody managed to beat the game in like 3 minutes. Okay. For some reason, this is something I just really want to do. Actually, I'm curious now. Huh, no, Patrick doesn't seem to be able to break springboards. Maybe if you like pick something up or throw it right as you hit the springboard, you can mess it up. The worst I've been able to do is standing on this thing. Interesting. Wait, these things stayed up. This game! Everything breaks. That's interesting. I can see that camera move. Okay. Get a nice close up. No, does Patrick actually not fit? I didn't realize characters had different collisions. That's probably why Samuel was stuck in here earlier, I guess. Huh. So you got Spongebob's the smallest? It's interesting. Stuck here. Come on. Almost. I need to get out now. There we go. Okay. And...
A note from Mr. Krabs! And it even smells sweaty, just like him.
Ahoy there, Spongebob! As a faithful crew member of the Krusty Krab, you've been, promoted to head shiny object collector.
Wow! A promotion!
That's silly. I imagine I can save the game will save like this too. But look at that, 100%. So back to main menu. Now we're gonna move quickly through the screen because it's gonna get content ID otherwise.
Are you ready, kids?
I'm ready, but not for the song. Okay. So, well, I'll first show off the different characters. Interesting how we're using the rock bottom music here. So apparently this is... a range attack. And okay. I guess this is actually the Robot Squidward fight. Is it just random notes he plays? I can't tell if it's actually like some kind of funny anything. This is amazing. I also don't know how to play this with the keyboard. I don't know how to like attack. I don't know what the controls are. Oh, I know you click, isn't it? You can right click as well. Those shoes. Is Gary growing shoes? I think so. It's very interesting. This is gonna be awkward because I'm playing this alone. What the heck? Okay, that was weird. Oh, this is also how they implemented the patch extreme. Okay. Oh, whoa, okay. And 3 kind of unsettling looking remains of the robot. Waves. This is gonna be weird playing as Squidward this way. So yes, there are on islands and then there are waves on these islands of enemies. That's interesting. So it's co-op. Oh, not sure if I like the choice of music for this. Like, I would be fine with it just being the normal, like, dramatic fight music. The one that's like a segment from SpongeBob's Dream. I need Gary to follow along. Or I could even have Gary do the next part. Well, it's gonna be really hard because I need to attack with the mouse, though. If do I have a Sun controller here with me? No, I think I do somewhere, but I don't have it, like, with me right now. In a super accessible place. It's really awkward attacking with that. Mouse, though. Alright, I'm dropping the controller as I do this. It's really awkward doing this with the mouse, but that's kind of my fault. So I guess, I don't know if, yeah, Gary just respawns. Okay. And what I'll probably do eventually after this is I'll probably clear this, and then afterwards I will play as other characters to see what they're like, and that'll probably be it. So it is nice to see this is how this happens. But there are no audio cues or anything. I'm feeling unimpressed. Like, this is the only actual original content here. I like the new characters. They feel a little simple, but all you have to do with them is like super simple platforming and fighting, so you don't need them to do much. And getting to play as more characters is in its own right really cool. It's very novel, so I'm legitimately very happy to have it. And I'm amused by the thought of multiplayer too. What happens if I fall? Do I respawn? No. Nice. It'd be amazing if both characters just die on the way there. Oh no, image respawn's good. Was it just a time thing instead of anything else? It's fine. But the music choice doesn't feel very appropriate. Whoops. And it feels so, it doesn't feel responsive. You just kind of move and then hit some more stuff. You just move around, fight some enemies, and then move around, fight some more, and fight some more enemies. So far there's not much to it. And you can only make it like so complicated and whatnot if you're gonna be... Thank you for having that little enemy indicator, actually, that's very nice. For multiplayer, you can really only have so much complication going on, of course, but... Even so. Come on. I don't know why I was having such a hard time hitting him. So far it's feeling like they're just kind of like giving a nod to the cut content from the original game, though, as opposed to like actually using it. It's like they acknowledge the Muscle Bob buff pants, but you don't actually... I don't know if you're actually going to fight it. Maybe you will later or something. You're not actually fighting so far. The Squidward robot, you're just kind of doing other things in the presence of the Squidward robot. But I do wish that, and this being the only actual original content in this game, I do wish it felt a bit more polished. I imagine we'll wait to hit that button. And first we'll just... Squidward being broken, woohoo. Whenever you have some ranged characters and some non-ranged characters, the ranged ones are almost always broken. I'll come to this later, though, I guess. But this being the only original content in the game, as far as I can recall off the top of my head, it's fairly underwhelming. And it feels like it's kind of interesting. Stun them. I feel like it kind of... I feel kind of deceived, honestly. I like the multiplayer, but I didn't expect... I expected the other new content to be kind of its own thing, which maybe was naive of me. But when you say we're going to have a new boss fight, and restoring some cut content, and multiplayer, I expect those to be a bit more, like... I kind of thought they'd be separate things in some capacity. I thought the restoration cut content would actually be in some capacity, like, similar to what it was implied the content would be like in the original. Okay, that for some reason destroyed part of its tentacles. Okay. We both have to hold the button. Interesting. Maybe this goes on for a while. If it does, then I guess that's fine. Because we only destroyed one tentacle so far after all this, apparently. But, so it feels like what they really did was they remade the game. And if it was just remake, well, if it was just remake, it would being a little... Yeah, it is a remake, but I tend not to be that interested in remakes that don't actually add stuff. What is happening here? That was an interesting wave that we defeated. Okay, this feels really clunky. What's actually producing these attacks? Darn it. That was lucky. That was very lucky. I was hoping precisely that would happen. But like this feels really thrown together. Like no sounds. They're doing this weird thing where attacks are waves. But yeah, I do feel deceived by them just remaking the game and then adding one little extra new thing that fulfilled, strictly speaking, all of their promises. Gary wins by doing absolutely nothing. Gary was the one to get those shiny objects for some reason. Gary earned those. This is a weird... Oh, ho, 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 ho. Careful there. I'm guessing you just like lose this whole thing if you actually fall off. Or if everyone's dead at once, so... I need to be pretty careful. I like how they all have different double jump sounds. Like the other three characters, I guess. SpongeBob, Sandy, and Patrick. That was just a bomb bot that I couldn't hit, apparently. Yeah, Squidward's probably one of the better characters to be here. It feels really hackish how seems like they just kind of like generate enemies through... Or they make attacks that are kind of enemies, so then after they've done their attack, those enemies kind of die and then you get shiny objects from it and whatnot. It just feels really hackish. That seems to work. Also, you don't drown when you fall in the water, you just die. As if you ran out of health. Careful there. We've got some more interesting decor here at least. This is one of those things to be, that with somebody else would be kind of like, as simple as it is, would be kind of fun, I guess. If it's coordinating with someone else, it's just not a very fun multiplayer experience. I still think it's very unpolished seeming, but the fact that I'm playing a single player I think is part of the reason that I'm not enjoying it that much. As well. Okay. And it is a bit stressful. Well, now I just want to see. I'm playing this just to get, kind of see it. I don't want to lose time by failing it. Oh. And I have to balance playing with an action controller and playing with a keyboard because I'm trying to do this alone. Those I realize are issues that I'm bringing upon myself. Doesn't help though that I do realize that most of what we're doing here, most of what we're seeing is actually comprised of... I don't even have a separate animation for attacking in the air, I just do my attack in the air. Whoops, I didn't realize there was water there. Now let's just survive as Gary for a minute here. Do you... Maybe you don't get a game over if everyone dies, I don't know. Maybe it's just to see who gets the most shiny objects. It is possible, because there was a point where we were both dead, it seemed like. In which case that'd be good for me, because I don't have to worry about that sort of thing. We can't hit the button yet because it's not green, that's how it works. And no one makes sounds when they get hurt or anything. It's weird. There's just not sound here. Whoops. Hopefully that doesn't actually like result in a game over. No, it just goes to the next wave. That's actually interesting. Okay, I'll take it. Unless it like restructures the wave, I don't know. But I honestly don't mind. It's all the better for me since I have to... Or I want to see everything here, so I mean, I get to see everything. Come on, Gary. Yeah, like I said, after I complete this, I'll just briefly start up another game as... Jeez, there's a lot more here. I believe you start up another game as... It's weird it doesn't tell you, I'll have to hold the button. As the other characters. That being Robot Plankton and Mr. Krabs. And we can just see how they play and then that'll be it. So, I guess I could say it now, I haven't completed the extra content, I guess, but has the presence of extra content made me feel better about the game? Probably worse. I think I would have had a better opinion of the game if there wasn't any extra content at all. Sorry, I had the mic there for a second. Because I feel lied to. I feel kind of lied to. Why is there an onion in the midst of all the like sweet stuff and whatnot? Maybe it's just my own fault for not following more closely the... Oh. Jeez. All the promotional material and whatnot. And because maybe it was revealed somewhere long before this game was released that the extra content would be so little. So maybe I'm at fault to some degree here for not being informed. By the way, is this stuff doesn't kill you? Good. Or something like that. So it doesn't kill me? No. Okay, good. Where are you going, Mom? And... even... Mom just pushed him into the water. Interesting. Or into the goo, I guess you might prefer. Ow. But I will mention, I had read this... at the same time, how much should I expect to have read the promotional material? I had read the Steam page. Oops. I think you just restart the wave if you die, is what happens. Which I think is perfectly fine. I actually like that approach. So I think I do less damage though as Squidward in exchange for doing range attacks. Although some enemies still seem to die in one hit, I don't know. Where are you and where are you? Figured there'd be someone all the way back here. I wasn't sure why else this would be here. There's nothing fun there. Alright. Come on, Gary. But yeah, like I was saying, I had read the Steam page, and the Steam page alone set certain expectations for me, and it set expectations higher than what they actually were. Which, again, maybe I was just being naive, thinking that I would actually get those in separate forms and whatnot. But I feel like even I feel like they really only fit the definitions of their promises in the most literal fashion. Like this, you're not fighting the... maybe this will change later, but considering the fact we're restoring its tentacles, I doubt this is the case. So far, at least, we're not actually fighting in any capacity. There's more stuff over here. We're not actually fighting in any capacity. I like that part. The Squidward robot, it's just, it happens to be here. So they model a Squidward robot, which I guess is nice. Gary's holding his own pretty effectively there. Can these guys actually hurt me? Yes, okay. I wasn't sure. Hold on, Gary, I'm coming. Get everything on this side first, this time I think. Gary's just like slowly slipping away here. Oh man, did it just attack like the entire... it attacks the entire island, jeez. Squidward's attack doesn't home or anything like that, so I guess it's not super overpowered in the way that it would be if it did. Oh, it's not instant kill this time though, those attacks. Oh, whoops. But yeah, there's a Squidward, robot Squidward boss in the sense that there's a robot Squidward, and that you're doing something that you might call a fight, if that, but it's a mook boss. And Patrick's Dream is here in the sense that you have platforms in the Squidward boss fight that if you're familiar with it already, are inspired by that. Oh, is the presence of the onions here a reference to that sundae that SpongeBob made back in that one episode? Maybe that's the idea. Should there be more stuff though that was in the sundae? If that's the case. So I also have not paid any meaningful amount of attention to, or well, any attention to, like reviews of this game or anything like that, or like general reception. All I've seen is video titles, titles of videos I got recommended based on me making videos of this game and watching my own videos of this game, and on some occasions too. In the sense that I load up the pages to see people's comments. So YouTube would occasionally show me things related to this game. And I would see people commenting, or I'd see comments or titles that imply in at least one case that implied discontent with the game, and at least one or two other cases. Well, no, I think what I tend to see is implications that reviews on like game sites and things like that tend to give this game a fairly low score, but people making the actual reviews themselves like the game, something like that. I don't know. I can look into that after playing this, I guess, after finishing this tonight, since I'll be done with the game. But oh, what's happened there with the lighting? Whoops. On the right, with a little caramel over this river. So I don't know what the reasons were for giving this game a lower score, or for people liking it, or whatever. I can say that I feel like I've done a lot of explaining of my own feelings on this game, at least. Now, it's hard to impress me, I think, with remakes and like to begin with, because it's not something I'm really excited about, ever. Like I keep saying, I wouldn't have played this game if it was for the fact that people wanted to see it. I do think it looks nice, and I have really mixed feelings about just about everything else otherwise. Hi, Gary. Oh, hello. It actually tracks you. I thought it was suspicious that it was like around top of Gary there. Oh, sorry, Gary. Oh. Well, yeah, go after Gary there. That's fine. Next wave? What do you mean next wave? Oh, now we have actual enemies. I thought the attacks were the waves, but... Get back here. There you go. Gary just shrugged that one off. Nice. So yeah, I think there were some things that were made nicer, some things I think were made worse, and on the whole, it's mostly just playing the same game again, largely, I think. And the things that were promised to be like new added content were super unimpressive. They felt kind of like lies and also feel really slapped together. So I'm kind of sad that this is the note this is ending on. This particular... It's also super pretty. I'm kind of sad this is the note that we're ending on, this multiplayer here, because this is kind of a big note of disappointment for me. And I think I would be a lot happier just having completed the game and seeing its ending, if it's very brief ending, because this game does have a very sudden and brief ending. Look at that, nice top, Gary. And that's just how it was in the original too. It's not the fault of the remake. Oh, whoops. There you go, Gary. Defend yourself. I know. Part of what did get me saying, though, aside from people wanting to play it, part of what did get me somewhat interested in this game was the promise of new stuff. Because if you're going to make a remake, I think in my mind, one of two things, at least one of two things. Do some things differently, which this game did in some small ways, and or add some new stuff. Guys, if it's just the same game, then what's the point? At least in my mind, I have no desire to just get the same game again. A lot of other people seem to disagree. A lot of people seem perfectly happy with just buying literally the same game again. At the higher cost of modern games. Which is not my preferred way of doing things. But this game promised to add some stuff, and it kinda added something. And it did a couple things slightly different sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. So, I don't really... can't tell you how I feel. Why did I... Was I not seeing things right, or did I have no health there for a second? I wonder if Sandy's kind of overpowered here because of her lasso. So, is there some extra power that Gary has that I'm missing? Because... I don't know why Gary basically just runs and jumps and attacks, whereas other characters can... Other characters seem to have at least some kind of ranged move. I guess Patrick's ranged move probably isn't very helpful. Was Robot Squidward attacking the robot there? Patrick, I guess, his ability to throw things probably isn't very useful here. But beyond that... Gary's basically the same as Patrick. Except not being able to throw things. Which isn't a big difference. Whereas... Sandy has the lasso, and better platforming. Spongebob might not have any of his special abilities. If he has a bubble ball, even then that might not be that useful, honestly, in this mode. If he does have it. And I don't know what Mr. Krabs has. Maybe Sandy doesn't have a lasso, I don't know. Sandy's just overpowered in this game. Somehow it was this game, not the original, that made me realize how overpowered Sandy is. Yeah, other characters must have some way of using ranged attacks, because otherwise there's no good way to attack Slicks. Okay. Oh, hello. Careful there. There we go. Man, if characters just had some voice acting. Like, the lack of sound is such a big thing for me here. I'm curious why, like, was that an active decision? Because it, like, it affects the experience so much to me. I'm not getting to hear characters say things, which is, like, a big part of playing as a character. And not getting to... Whoops. And things just happening, like the tangles being destroyed without the satisfying sound of it blowing up or cracking apart or whatever. Or you even doing it yourself, it just kind of inexplicably happens. Kind of similar to the... Whoops. Ah, I tried. Couldn't switch controllers fast enough. Kind of like how in the Battle Arena challenges in the Spongebob movie game, those plankton enemy spawners just randomly explode. I don't know why this mode is so long though. Like, I don't feel like they have enough content to make this long. To justify being this long, because things are kind of getting the same now. I would occasionally see something a bit more interesting and different in the form of some kind of environmental hazard. It took him a while, that guy. Jeez. Took a while for him to hit Gary. Oh. We win though, don't worry. Oh hell, I'm trying to... do things that I'm having a hard time doing. It is fun getting to just like destroy a bunch of enemies. Like, in all honesty, I don't think the premise of this mode is in any capacity bad. I'm just a bit weirded out by its execution. Come on, Gary. You know you don't have feet. And I guess the button destroys that thing for some reason. And also not telling you both have to hold the button. It's really weird when you simultaneously. You know, you would think after having done Lights Camera Pants with 2 controllers at once, yeah, I could play this game with 2 controllers too, but I don't dare try that. Come on, Gary. Come on, Gary does float if you're attacking the air. At least a little bit. Hey look, it's the unused muscle bob stuff. We're getting there though, there's not much left, it looks like. Oh, oops. Save yourself, Gary. That was the wrong place to save. That's not where you save yourself, Gary. That's not, I accidentally pressed the wrong direction. This really reminds me of the Hasselhoff Dennis fight back in the movie game though. Why does this segment remind me of the movie game so much? Like if they wanted, they could have taken some inspiration from the movie game, I guess. For whatever. There's Squidward. I was waiting for Squidward, and then Squidward went places he shouldn't for a few reasons, one of which being that the controller was falling in between my legs just then. Okay. I don't mind this being difficult. In all honesty, that was gonna be a time. Having something difficult to do in this game is actually a really cool idea in my mind. So I welcome it. Getting to just beat up a bunch of robots. Nope. But yeah, this game having been made after the movie game, I guess if they wanted, which I don't think they did, but if they wanted to, they could have actually taken some pointers, or even, I guess, assets, probably, from the movie game. As long as this one remaining enemy doesn't manage to get me. Beautiful. That's gonna be a tough one. Things are getting fairly rough towards the end here. What's with that? No, the nose. The nose has gone flaccid. It's interesting. Ooh, look at those fancy reflective effects on the eye. Oh, I have a hard time hitting these guys. I have a hard time hitting those. I think I have a hard time hitting those little robots in general. The bomb bots. The Squirt especially too, though. Why I have a hard time using Squirt's smash attack? I think part of it is that you can't do it right after using your ranged attack, which is your default attack. And you can jump while using your ranged attack. No, I can do it there. I don't know. I feel like we're just getting more and more of the same. Here's some robots, and here's some random stuff blowing up in different parts of the stage to make it harder. I think that's most of what this is at this point. Well, the ones that are left are the rough ones. There you go, jeez. The underwear I find tends... I think enemies drop underwear, but then that underwear tends to appear in places you can't access it. Going after the wrong one. There you go. Hold on, Gary. Don't respawn yet. Okay, never mind. And the next arm. Ugh. This might be the last of it, though. I think I might have 2 tangles left. I'm not sure. Maybe another after this. I don't know what the next one after this would be. I don't remember seeing any other... Oh, hey. It's that guy. I don't remember seeing any other... That was nice timing. Look at all that physics. Stuff blowing up everywhere. I don't remember... I may have just missed it. He's in the ground, too. But I don't remember seeing any other... islands. Like this one. That's something caught my attention. What are you doing? Hey. There you go. This is one way to grind for shiny objects. It would have been fun to actually... Man, I wish I could have played this with Stom or something, because it would have actually been fun to play a game that... He actually... I don't know if I mentioned him in this playthrough at all, but I don't mention him very often anymore. But he actually played this game as well when he was younger and was fairly familiar with the game. So it would have been cool to actually get to play the game multiplayer with him. Oh well. I realize I'm missing out on a lot of the multiplayer experience by not playing multiplayer, but I want to at least see what there is to see content-wise. I think we're most of the way through it now. And there's probably someone like a Chuck here. The little enemy is the most annoying here, honestly, because it's hard to hit them with Squidward. Okay. There's one more collection of islands. I don't know if they're anything particularly interesting. That would be interesting if maybe the music changed throughout too instead of just being the rock bottom music, but it's not even like dramatic music even though you're fighting a bunch of stuff. It's like the music that you're playing before you fight things. Like this, the rock bottom music works for the character select screen, but not for the actual fight. No, just another normal island where you fight stuff? For a moment, kind of got my hopes up, thinking there would be an actual boss fight here for a second, but... Okay. One we've done, in fact. Because I'm low on health anyways. Jeez. I'm blowing up. Those things blow up really fast too, my god. Yeah, if we were doing this... if you actually have teamwork going on here, this is probably pretty fun and even pretty quick. But unfortunately, it's a little tough for me to coordinate 2 characters here. Really use having a round down to clear enemies too, man. It's always these little lemon-scented dudes I have the hardest time with. Alright, almost done. It's weird that the last islands aren't even like themed, it feels like. It's not something cool like the Patch Extreme one or the sponge bot. It's just more generic platforms. The last couple platforms here, or islands, I guess if you prefer. Am I supposed to have some enemies over here? Come on. Got that one off guard! That Chuck just hit that ARF. That was an ARF. I don't know what the dogs are called. Not the ARF dogs, but the bad breath ones. Oh. Get out of the way. Hey. The fodders take 2 hits from Squidward. It's interesting. Okay. Will enhance my survivability if I do that. I don't know how Gary is supposed to take out those slicks. Unless the shields just for some reason don't hurt Gary in particular. Something weird like that. Shoop. You can go away. You too. I said you can go away. There we go. And another wave, and then I think I'll only be 3 more left. Because I think it'll just be 1 more island. He's a parse, man. That enemy stunned there. Hello. And ooh. It'd be nice if those explosions came from something, but next island. Come on, Gary. I do like the animations for the characters, though. I will say, like, I really like Gary going to his shell for his double jump, for instance. As silly as single jump, as silly as it seems for Gary to be able to jump at all, they made it work as well as they could have, I think. Oops. Oh well. I think this is the only game I know of other than. Oh, this is Flying Dutchman oriented. Interesting. There's another island after this? Okay, I missed out apparently. But, I think this is the only game other than, I may be wrong, I think it's the only game other than Light Skin or Pants where you can play as Squidward just like running around on foot. No, there was like, you could also play as Squidward. Squidward was unlockable for some reason, as like a secret character almost. In Atlantis Scarpantus DS, I think it was. Oh. So at least you get to go. I can only barely tell this is Flying Dutchman themed. It just happens to have some bluish green sand or whatever you want to call it. I can't tell why I sometimes manage to kill those arcs in one hand and then other times in 3. That wave went really smoothly for some reason. Is there some ranged guy back here or what? Well, I think I was a Tartar. And then it'll be on Island after this, I think. So I guess, was it just 5 per tentacle or something like that? I somehow managed to think it was 3 or something like that instead. I think that's what happened. Oh, what? What killed me? Alright, here he is. Good at. Arf, go away. Gary's good at defending himself, but Squidward can still save the day regardless. It's Squidward's responsibility because it's a Squidward robot. Actually, that's kind of the opposite how it works with the other characters. Patrick fights the Sandy robot, and Sandy fights the Patrick robot. But then SpongeBob has to fight himself. Is there yet another island after this one? Can I just like really manage, unless there are like more islands for each tentacle successfully or something? That might be the case. I admit I wasn't paying that much attention for keeping count throughout this. Jeez. Alright. Away. And... nope, no way. The Tartar. We're about done here. There we go. Take that. Not much will be said here at this point, though. We're just kind of. Jeez, dealing with very large numbers of enemies. It's just more comfortable playing as Squidward though for me, since I actually get to use my controller. So I'm gonna use a keyboard to move and then a laptop trackpad to attack. And it's a single button trackpad too, so it's kind of hard to right click on it to do the pound attack. At this point it's just best to pound everything it seems like. Whoops. I should use Squidward for this since I have range attack. There we go. And now one more island. Jeez. Okay. Here we are, ever so slightly Dutchman-ish, because we've got one platform with a little bit of sand on it. That's blue, I guess, is the idea here. Fortunately, nothing really, at least out of the attacks that I have for these characters, nothing really compares to the practicality of getting rid of large numbers of enemies with the pound. And it seems like it's kind of the one attack that works on everything too, just about. I don't know why I have a hard time hitting those ARPs sometimes. Right, you're on your own, Gary. Wow, these guys with range attacks. Enemies are just, in general, able to take on close. I don't know if I managed to hit the slick there with Gary, or if it was that this Tartar's not, or this hammer's not causing me many issues for some reason. Darn it! I don't know if I managed to just break through the Slick's shield with Gary, or if it was I knocked the Chuck into the Slick. Yeah, that'd be what happened there. I really hate how I can't get a lot of the health it drops, because it's over the water, over the goo. I'd like to have Gary alive for a second here, if I may. Sign up your Lion not dying like that. Okay, let's get Gary alive for a second so we can have Squidward at our disposal again. Alright, here we go. Oh, come on. Ew, this is pretty serious. Get that underwear. Curious what Squidward would say about wearing Spongebob's underwear. And now I think the actually final wave. I think with every enemy in the game or something like that. Ah. Squidward. I love how Chucks can hurt other enemies. It's really entertaining to see. Checking that. Oh, Tartar is attacking me. I was not. Did I press? Did I actually press that button? If I did, it was very unintentional. I wasn't trying to pound there. Let's try to get rid of everything ranged first, though. So that everything else left to deal with is localized to one location. And I can stay away from it if we need to. I do stuff like this, pick up health if we need it. Ah, what is happening here? I think I was getting hurt just by being close to that G-Love. You know, they weren't in their attack animation. My god! I was just trying to get back to the platform there. Why are you jumping for, Squidward? Squidward's excited. Hey, I was trying to ground pound. I hate how I get combos sometimes too, it feels like. Where I get hit trying to get back on the platform. Oh, hello. Hey, Gary Long. There's enough bombs. Guys, stay in your own space. And Gary, unfortunately, by not moving, Gary's just taking damage over time. Nope, move, Gary, move! Here we go. Alright, now it's Squidward's back. We can probably finish things without too much trouble. See if we can get a better view on them by hitting them from the south side. There we go. Naturally, it's a fire that we take out last. Man, that was an interesting way to spend an hour. Next island. And that's it. Okay. Alright. Well, let's see the other characters, and that'll be it. Some more range attacks. It's basically... Oh, I can actually shoot constantly though. Well, honestly, that probably won't be better than Squidward. Probably seems like one of the better characters to play as. Crabs. There's a sword. Nice. That's specifically the one spearfish's head. Nice. Okay, so you basically have melee and ranged characters. Okay. Well, that's what that is then. I would go back to the main menu, but the issue with that is that it plays the title theme of the show that I can't have in a video. So I've already given all my thoughts on the game, so I guess that's that. What will I play next? I have no idea. Probably some other licensed game, but we'll see. Anyways, that being said, bye everyone. that was this game, and it was an experience, an interesting one. Oh well. Bye everyone.